coming at you with a reading. Okay. I just got in, so I am putting myself together now. There's going to be background noise because there are people in the vicinity, so we're just going to have to not mind that. We are doing a mediumship reading for today, of which is, so all day today is the personally feng shui labeled day of creativity, children, and future, and also Fun Friday planning just popped up too, so that is a part of it for sure. What was I going to say? So that's today, and then so this reading is going to be from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on, and it's going to be for the collective that basically resonates with me, and what else? And tomorrow, and so this reading is going into tomorrow up until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow's Helpful People in Travel on a Saturday. All right. Oh, that's so cool. All right. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So, highest and best Yang card for today. Wow, that popped out. Thank you. These heavenly cards are heavenly. These are Talking to Heaven by James Van Praagh. Okay, I'm flipping them over at the same time, which is hilarious to me because I usually never do that. So I feel like a balance is coming through, maybe even rebalancing, because yesterday was a little wobbly and today might be, actually it's definitely more stable considering the date is 11/11. So that's adds up to 4 numerology. And that's a stable number, so for sure. And this makes so much sense that I'm doing, I love just listening to Spirit and then figuring out why everything is the way that it is, through analyzation, because of the fact that it's so fun. And the thing is, it's I'm working with these cards. Where's my phone? Oh, I'm working with these cards because it's like an angel type of day, and angels do come through in terms of mediumship reading, so it just all makes so much sense. It's pretty amazing. And what I'm also getting is annoyingness is turning into amazement. That's the negative A to a positive A. So maybe we're going from an A- to an A+ today. and the middle would be just a regular A, right? So maybe those are the vibes, right? And maybe that's the vibes from not just today, but today into tomorrow. So let's just see how it plays out. Yeah, and I'm all about those vibes because honestly speaking, I literally think I just posted something about positivity in which and I can't remember, it literally just vanished, but it's more so you are the grade A, the letter A, and it is up to your decision and your choices to either go an A negative or A positive, but still it's an A. So when I'm talking about positivity might seemingly look negative when you're actually being the A-, but it's still an A. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's definitely not a bad thing. And that's also what that's also part of my practice, but also my preaching when it comes down to, not being of the negative darkness, right? So if you look like you're negative, you're operating under the A, even the A-, it's still an A. So it's not like a negative darkness, it's a positive darkness. Do you get what I'm saying? I hope that all makes sense, but that's exactly what I mean when I mean that there are those quadrants. of like, you know, just staying above the line instead of below the line, because you don't want to go negative and you don't want to go darkly negative, right? Like, but a positive negative is not a bad thing, because positivity always ends up, what is it called? I want to say like overcasting the negative. So it's just beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes like we don't fucking like to do that, you know, but at the same time, you know, we have to do what we have to do, even if we have to pull out the you know, A minus, you know, BS. Like, I think a lot of us people that are resonating with me like to kind of stay even keeled as the A type of person, and not go the A minus route, but always keep even keeled in the A and then go towards the A plus. But at the same time, you know, so, like, life isn't perfect, and we have to do what we have to do in terms of, you know, just, I'm getting shielding ourselves, because it's true. Whenever you, like, really kind of put down a boundary or speak your mind, you are literally putting a, you know, you're really shielding yourself from other stupidity that can come your way if you didn't put that boundary up. So yeah, so this has all to do with angels, and like, so, you know, the ethereal angels, but also oh my god, this is hilarious, but also the earth angels. And I'm literally looking at AAA at one of my battery boxes, which is all the archangels too. So yes, they're here as well, which is pretty awesome. So the first card up for today after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is I See All of Your Thoughts. And I just want to say that this is like a card that I feel there was a lot coming through, PS, and that is definitely part of the reading, where there is a lot of enlightenment coming through. There is a lot of sparking going on in terms of ideas and inspiration. I feel like you don't even have to do a Pinterest today. Like, it's just that kind of like, you're uppity, you're like, you know, yeah, you might like the technology, that might be your thing, but like, I feel like you don't even need it. I feel like if you go out for a walk or a run, or, you know, just kind of just be free, I feel like inspiration just kind of comes to you, which is awesome. And I also feel like you're having a lot of downloads and really good ideas in terms of like making sure to write things down. Like, they're really kind of positive, but also in congruent or in parallel with what I think there was a card for this morning is get more information from yesterday's reading. And so now it's kind of like you're getting all this information, and your thoughts are kind of like putting the two and two together. So it's kind of creating this connection between, you know, what the new energy has downloaded into your system, but also, and I mean that because we just had that the full moon in Taurus, but also eclipse, right? So just it's just a whole bunch of brain activity, and also like your brain is piecing together different things that maybe it didn't have the answer to. And so now it's kind of you just having to there's just a lot coming at you in terms of like good ideas, answers, the next best steps for you guys to take, and it's just kind of awesomely wild. I'm looking at the Wheaties here that I have in front of me, and I just feel like that you might need, and or you so what I'm getting is that you might be a little tired, and you might just want to take care of yourself a little bit more today, just so that you can literally keep up with the energies that are coming through, because I feel like today's a really good positive day, but it's maybe taking you a little bit to you know, to kind of utilize these energies. So, and maybe there's just going to be like a lot of just energy that's coming through that you're not even used to. Like, it might empower you or energize you in a way that, like, you know, either you need to do the re-energizing for yourself, or there's like a power that's coming through to energize you in terms of just taking your quote-unquote Wheaties But also maybe it's, you might feel strong enough to do something in terms of like being ready to do something a little bit different, a little bit forward thinking, because today's about the future. So something more, so it's funny, I'm seeing the word F as in friction, but I'm also seeing people jogging. So it's really funny because it's like, I don't know how to, oh, and I'm seeing the word gold. That's so interesting. So I feel like maybe that's what's going on. You're like, maybe not, and I'm gonna maybe put it that way, actually, beating yourself up about like, you want to do something, but you can't really get your energy up to do it. But also, here's something that came through this morning, which I was like hilariously laughing, like giggling at, is like, the way that I empowered my mind was like, yo, just wait until I get my energy back up, because I feel like there's gonna be some fucking gold, and I'm gonna actually, one of my goals is to start running, because I really just feel like I need to jog it out a little bit. And today was the day that I personally kind of wanted to start a daily, jogathon for myself, but at the same time, I'm also going with the flow and seeing if today is the day that I really need to do that, I know it's coming up and I know I'm building to it, but again, there's this friction there, kind of like this back and forth. So yesterday was like the stop and go energy. Now it's more so, I think you push through and you pull through, which is a good go energy, but there's still a little hesitancy, hence the friction, right? So maybe it's, if not today, then it's tomorrow, but I don't give a fuck, because if you like just, do something else in terms of, maybe you're not feeling physically wanting to move all that much, but if you do if you just eat a little bit better today, or if you go for a walk, which is a little bit more gentler than a jog, you're still kind of prepping the things to come. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And, and I think also the A-team are kind of like, with them seeing all of your thoughts, they know that you're about to prepare to do something, you know what I'm saying, for yourself. So they're kind of like helping in the support of it all, which is beautiful. By the way, happy 11/11. Today is like a huge day. I forgot to say that. And also, it's wonderful that it's happening on a Friday, because hence all the sparking and excitement, and like you being with, I feel like if you get a lot of alone time today, there's a lot of like what I'm getting is spark notes, even though I'm not going to use it in the traditional spark notes type of book way. It's like you're getting notes to write down because your brain is being sparked up, like I said before. And so it's kind of like you really feel, the word infiltrated is coming in, but it's true. It's like you feel like there's a lot being downloaded, but also there's a lot of inspirational type of thoughts, but also even vision board type of thoughts, like where you're like, oh, that's what I'm going to be doing in the future. Ooh, that's what I'm going to be doing in the future. So there's like a lot of like visionary stuff I feel going on today as well. So Midway Happy Way is the card for the Midway Happy Way and or happening internally today is, my death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to any guilt. And I think that's exactly what you're freeing yourself up about. I think that's more so what is kind of holding you back a little bit. So anything that was causing like friction in your life, you're slowly but surely letting it go, so that you do become, Spirit is saying, painless in a sense. So whatever has caused you pain, like I know I watched something early this morning that was like, a person speaking honestly about having beating themselves up, like as if they got so used to the negative, the negative, what is it called? The negative voice in their head, that like they didn't allow, like they didn't know what to do when the voice wasn't there after they had done something really good for themselves. So it's kind of like, it's weird because it's like self-sabotagery thoughts, but then it's not kind of self-sabotagery. It's kind of more so like, some people are just born with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how else to express it, because I just want to say that if you don't work at it, and if you don't take care of those, if you don't get in control of those thoughts, right? You being in control of those thoughts that are kind of hammering you down while you're already down type of thing. That's what's called like a bully in your head, right? So it's weird that some people are kind of so okay with having this bully in your head that like you're not even doing anything about. You're just kind of like, I'm gonna say, being passive about it, and I don't know what passive aggressive really means, so I'm not gonna use it there. But it's kind of like, and maybe that is passive aggressive, like where you're just kind of, you know, you're getting beat up by your thoughts, which is fucked, but then but then you're like also allowing it to happen day in and day out. It's like at one point you have to like take your power back, you know, at one point you have to stand up and like literally do something about it. So I feel that any type of hold that you've had onto worry or guilt is absolutely being released today, and it's coming through a lot of kind of decisions made through your thoughts that spirit is seeing, which is kind of like you using affirmations as you even scroll through social media. Like if somebody's like, I don't know like what came up for me, but basically I was like, everything that I like hear or come across in terms of like somebody empowering something, I'm like, hell yeah, and I repeat it back to myself so that I kind of know that this is a decision made. I declare this for myself. This is an affirmation, declaration, confirmation, reservation, like everything. Like it's kind of like I'm just stamping it with my approval, like, yeah, we're this is our path, right? So it's kind of like you yourself and you are shifting your thoughts and mind and actions towards what it is that you have always wanted to do, but maybe couldn't have done, but also maybe you lost kind of sight of what you've done before in your life, and you just like haven't been able to kind of get back on the bandwagon with it. But like, I feel like this thought that's coming through is definitely something health wise, and it's definitely something more so interesting. I'm seeing definitely, but I'm also seeing defense. So it's kind of like you're allowing yourself to release the defenses that you yourself and you have put up in case of, and not in case, we've all been there, done that, which is like rejection, right? Like you've had rejection in this life, so you've literally like kind of maybe even put up like a defense system for yourself, which is like there, but it doesn't allow you personally to kind of like move anywhere past it. So it's kind of like, even if, so here's what I'm trying to say, is that you may have built a boundary that is literally locking yourself out of out of what you need to be doing for yourself, but really that boundary is there for other people, right? So the whole thing is, I think today is where you're kind of unfrictioning yourself and unfucking yourself in terms of allowing your life to just freely, flowingly unravel to where you get this freedom to do what it is that you need to do for yourself, that you've been meaning to do for a long time, but it just hasn't really kind of played out just yet, just because of the fact that whatever, you might have been responsibilizing in other different ways, and you just might not have made your own me time, or you might not have really, like I said, had your energy and or your courage up to do it, because you've been taking care of other shit. And now I feel like now, and I'm seeing the word gold again, it's like now I feel like the gold is you. The gold is what you are going to do for yourself. The gold is how you're going to take care of yourself better. And the gold is really, it's health, right? So, and we were just talking about top tier stuff, which is, the A-, the A, and the A+, which is literally like, that's gold status in, when it comes to grades. So it's kind of like, at least in the States, I don't know how it is well, I'm gonna say in Europe it's like a 5, right? So Europe, they do numerological like 1 to 5, so a 5 is like a big deal, a 1 is failing, and so which is really interesting because we, you know, like there's like always like that number one, and you would think it's like maybe kind of opposite, but no, 5 is like, you know, like 5-star, right? And so, so yeah, so I'm just here to let you know that you're getting your divine good health back, which is going to be gold. It's going to be really gold for you. So I think that's basically what you're waiting on, is kind of like the powering up. Oh, that is so true. Because actually today, it was so interesting. When I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, so last night I didn't power up all of my electronics. I was like, I'm going to power them up today. And I knew that that was symbolic in some way, because I was also feeling a bit different. So the whole thing is, I think that that absolutely applies to right now. Because, yeah, Spirit's saying you kind of experienced like a death yesterday, and maybe more so into prior to, you know, 3 p.m. Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time today. But I feel like now, you know, it's kind of like it was painless, but here's how I mean painless. Like, so let's say there is, this is hilarious in how it's coming through. Let's say it's like there is a storm. And that's what we had in Florida, you know, just recently. Like they're like, oh, they're like, you know, storm, and it's going to be big. And like a lot of people were getting a little, you know, edgy because of the storm that had hit, you know, recently, right? Prior to Nicole. I forgot the name of it. It's whatever. I'm not thinking. It's not coming to me. But anyhow, because I'm like trying to get to the story. So the thing is, it's like I just saw something on social media where somebody was just like videotaping what had happened. Like, oh, they're like, oh, Nicole, like they were on the beach, and they're like, oh, Nicole didn't turn out to be anything but a storm, right? And also somebody that I spoke to recently said it was like, oh, it's just you know, it's just like a tropical storm, right? Like nothing too crazy. Like it's like water and wind, you know? And I think that's what kind of it turned out to be. Like you were maybe going through a death, and you were like bracing yourself for impact, for some sort of like harsher death than it was. And it turned out to be a lot more painless than it was. So like, your comeback is going to be a little bit more faster than you initially imagined it to be, but also it still might take time. So the Spirit's saying don't worry, right? So and don't worry, and also Spirit's saying, you know, it's your time to let go of the guilt that you've held on to. I think that that's really kind of waning out, so that you become more weightless in terms of your worry, some stuff, and your pain that maybe you've experienced, along with guilt, right? So, yeah, so you're going to be weightless in all three of those: pain, worry, and guilt. Amen. So we can like literally easily release that today. And that's what's going on. And I want to say specifically with your health stuff, like, I feel like there's like stuff that like maybe it's, thank you, Spirit, it's like stuff that you've always wanted to believe to be true about yourself, stuff that you always kind of envisioned for yourself, but you never worked at it. Like for instance, it's very interesting. My life has taken a weird, not weird, just different, but weird for me because I'm not used to it. But all of my decisions have literally been up until like have made my life, have created my life up until now, right? And now I find myself having time to where I want to work on my body. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is, hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining. And so we're just talking tarot and oracle cards for today in terms of the energy, and also this is gonna be up on YouTube right after the record, or like a little bit after the recording. So feel free to revisit that. So, but thanks for your support in terms of joining and watching, and I'm not really watching, listening, because it's a podcast. It's like an oracle podcast. So anyhow, I was going to say, so tomorrow, which is the health and, what is it called? Health. Sorry, I'm all about the health, right? So But tomorrow is really helpful people in travel, which also could involve health, because anytime those slip-ups happen, it's a part of the reading for sure. So I think that I always say I think, but I'm gonna actually say I'm gonna come through with a whole bunch of knowledge. So that is just how I'm gonna do things, because I want things to be a lot more just more solid. Also, it's very interesting talking about health. I just saw a yellow star, and I'm seeing like a star again, but the stars that are coming through is kind of like a star that would make up like a dream catcher, right? So it's like a star within a dream catcher. And then I'm also kind of like looking like, it looks like a spider web. So I feel like, you know, and spiders to me are super spirit, right? They absolutely, represent spirit. So, yeah, so basically, this card says, and this is for tomorrow from the morning up until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which says, I was met by so many loving people. So I feel like tomorrow you could be really surrounded by really positive people that really may, like, let it be the case in terms of, you know, let yourself make those decisions in which you want to be surrounded by the people that really kind of support your good health, because again, health popped up once I mentioned this card. So are supporting of your health, and also the word that's popping out here is loving, right? So surround yourself with loving people, the people who really appreciate you, the people who really kind of, because I feel like that's going to be like, even there's a hug depicted on here, which is like, I feel like the hug is kind of like even healing for you. So it's good. It's like uplifting for your health. And so what are we, helpful people in travel up until 3 p.m. Okay, interesting. So that'll be the daytime. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I just think that, you know, and also you might be feeling a lot more gentle with yourself tomorrow as the energies kind of gradually fade like out, like not fade out, but fade onwards. So yeah, so you might feel a whole bunch of either lovingness through yourself, you like, I'm gonna say through yourself, but also first and foremost for yourself, and then through yourself, in terms of, you know, wherever you go, you might be spreading and sprinkling that, you know, that epic amount of love. I also feel like, interestingly enough, I don't know why I'm feeling it, but like, I feel like the person that you call home, or they call you home, and may it be mutual for both people, honestly, because that's the best ever. That is the best feeling ever. Where I feel like a lot of people are maybe even going to find their counterparts tomorrow. I feel like that's probably what the 1111 is about too, because 1111, like I said, is not only solid, not only the angel numbers, you know, or the number that's solid, which is a 4. It's also like the 4 of Wands in the tarot deck, which is kind of like, it's like marriage, it's love, it's marriage, it's connection, it's relationships. So yeah, I feel like that's coming through for tomorrow, where you know, you're gonna have maybe helpful people in travel. Maybe people are traveling towards you, you're traveling towards other people. But I am definitely getting, like, if you're a female, you're gonna be a receiver of love. You're not really good. I mean, like I said, a hug kind of goes both ways a little bit with the right people, right? So you want to make sure you're hugging the mutually loving people, ones that you love and ones that you know without a doubt, without your denial, right? Without any denial or doubt that they love you too. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, you want to be surrounding yourself by, you know, energetically, unconditionally loving people. But also, here's what I have to say too is, to back it up, is it's not just people that are related to you, which, they always say like there's that underlying love, or, you know, it's like blood related. It's usually not going to be blood related with this type of love. That's just how I sense it to be. But also, you know, of course, you have family that you're blood related to that really do love you unconditionally, and that, you know, what's it called? That love you from afar too, which they could be traveling to. So they literally, what did I want to say here? So literally, yeah, I was just kind of going there in case like people are thinking about like, oh, family is the one that like unconditionally loves me. I'm like, that's kind of not true, because family can love you because they had you, but they might not like you. You know what I'm saying? As a person, like they might not be a fan of yours, right? So, and to me, that's like half-assed shit. Like, because of so my whole thing is I rather not do hugs with people like that, because of the fact that it's just like, it's not my forte anymore. I don't just give out hugs for free. Like, if anything, you'll have to pay for my hug one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of thing. Because of the fact that it's just kind of like, you want, like, I just find it very important for things to be high quality and highly mutual, because that in itself is, you know, generating more of that amazingly good love. It's not half-ass anything, right? And I think I really do believe that's what love actually deserves too. So it's kind of like, let's not even play around, you know? Like, there was something, and I'm trying to, there was a quote that I had seen this morning, and I was like, I don't know, it's like coming through, but I can't even think of. Let me see if I have it saved, because sometimes I save things I want to talk about. Let me see if I have that at all saved. Boop, boo, boo, boo. Yeah, maybe not here. Whatever. It was like somebody that like had said something. I don't know. It was like a quote on Facebook or something that I saw. Let me see in case I do have it. Let me think. Let me just see. No, I don't have it. All right, it doesn't matter. So, yeah. So anyhow, that's what I wanted to say there. That really does help out your health a whole lot too. And like I said before, it helps out with the protection of who it is that you are as well, right? So a lot of people, maybe those that resonate with me, may have been through a lot of like a huge phase of a protection type of phase, you know, where it's like, don't even try to be crooked, because shit's gonna pop off out of you if you do. You know what I'm saying? And so now I feel like it's very interesting, because I feel like so here's the thing, things are in place, but there's always gonna have to be that, like, you know, first watch or night watch happening. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a security guard. There's always gonna have to be that, like, in terms of protection for yourself. But I feel as though it's more so not about that anymore. It's more so, I'm seeing it in my I'm seeing odor protection on my deodorant, which is hilarious. So yeah, you guys know that I wear deodorant now. I always have, amen. I gotta put it on actually. And so, but like, yeah, so there's always gonna be that protection, but I think there's been like a lot more, you know, a lot more protection than there really should be happening, like, for a very long phase of time. And I feel like now there has been a death to it, so that we can kind of release it. And like, so let's say there was like a full spectrum of protection and pain actually, which is coming through, because honestly, to stand your guard, it does require a little bit of pain. It does. It's so fucked up, but it is. And so I feel like the pain and the protection has been halved a little bit. Not to say that it's not there, but it's retracted itself a little bit, so that it's still there. It's lessly needed, but at the same time, more of your energy is going to go towards what you need to do for yourself as a quote unquote, and I'm seeing, interestingly enough, fighter. So, and I don't know if it's like because you're in like warrior mode, or you have to get your fucking you know, you have to get your listen, warrior mode also is work mode. That's what I call it. So, you know, there's a reason why, you know, the highest and best and top CEOs of their own life, as well as companies that they own, start working out and, you know, do and go for a jog and do all of that good stuff for their health, because of the fact that A, everything falls on them, B, they have to be clear and they have to be stress free, and C, it's kind of like they have to be what I'm getting is the protector, but also it's if you're owning a company, you are kind of going to battle every day. Like, that is literally the kind of truth, and it sucks, but it is what it is, because you're putting out fires, you're talking to different clients that, you know, you might not want to be talking to. You might be talking to rude people. You're gonna have to figure out a lot of shit. You're gonna have to, you know, dismiss a lot of shit. Like, there's so many things that, you know, are very courageous that you have to be and do and have and, you know, go after in terms of, you know, in terms of owning a business, that it's just like, that's something that you have to do for yourself, I think, to just stay on your A game in terms of your golden believing type of health. So it's like golden health, and then golden believing, and then combine the two, which is double golden believing health, right? Or health and believing, or, you know, combine it whichever way. And now I'm seeing the word smooth, so that things can go smoothly. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is. So you have to, and I've never actually put two and two together, but also believing takes work. People don't realize that. Positivity takes work, and that's part of the reason why I think a lot of people, not only do they want to look good and feel good, that's a part of, you know, taking the power into your own hands, and also being the CEO of your life and being the CEO of your own, you know, operational systems for your own business. But it's literally like allowing you to, you know, to have things soothe you, and literally just work a whole lot smoother with flow. So they're basically having a confidence there that no one can fuck with, because you knew you did your due diligence in terms of background preparation work for you to have like a clear mind. So as I'm talking about clear mind, but also clear heart, clear, you know, just everything physical, right? Clearer inside, outside, right? Inside and out. And so when I'm talking about the mind, that is definitely more so typically masculine business stuff. But at the same time, it's very interesting, because let's not forget that the mind, in terms of what it looks like, the brain, also, when I'm using it out, it literally resembles how, like, not cramped up, but, like how, I guess, like layered your intestines are on top of one another, right? So it kind of like you have like your large intestines, small intestines, that kind of look like your brain a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about, you know, and to be a good business person, you really have to go off of your feelings first and foremost, but also positivity, which is in the brain. So it's kind of like both resemble one another. And if you're going, if you're, and also the moon is in Gemini, so you're going to be more, it is going to be more brain talk than anything. But also the whole thing is your brain is where your visions are, right? So the whole thing is to have a healthy mind, or a positive mind, is to also have a healthy, you know, gut feeling and gut status, right? But also in order to have it and keep it well maintained, you have to go with your gut on everything, even if it doesn't make any fucking sense, because you might not know why it doesn't make sense now, but you'll probably find out once it makes sense later on. Like, just like I said at the beginning of this reading, I listen to spirit for whatever I need to do, and without question. And I mean, sometimes I question it, trying to decipher what the fuck it means while I'm doing it, but at the same time, it's like I'm listening to spirit, and then as I go through it, I then analyze, and then I'm like, oh, or maybe not, well, I'm going to say analyze and also reflect, to then be like, oh shit, like that's exactly why that was meant, right? Like why I did that. And then it's fun, you know? So that's the whole, I think, end result and reward is that you get to have more fun. So just listen to your positive mindset, listen to your gut, also listen, and so dismiss the doubts, but also, what else? It's a good thing it's not coming into my mind, but the denials also, you know what I'm saying? And just literally clean out that clutter in terms of if you have it in your home or if you have it in your mind space. Like if you have clutter in your mind space, guys, you have to meditate. There's no fucking other way. Also, the highest of CEOs fucking meditate. So that's just to let you know, they take out their needless or emotional garbage all the fucking time, like almost daily, if they're, you know, if they're in habitual aspects of it, right? So the whole thing is, it's like that adds to the whole believing and spirituality and dismissing it. So, you know, basically if you have too much of, you know, too much clutter in the mind, you have to meditate. And that's the only way that, like, let's say your gut is going to get better at being decluttered as well, you know? So, excuse me, all I want to say here also is, for some reason, I don't know why, like, anybody with, like, bowel movements or, like, Crohn's disease or something like that, I think that's the one. You have to start meditating. That's really what it is, you know? And also, what I'm really getting is when you meditate, it's really good to put both of your hands together. So, in terms of, like, gratitude mode, and just sit there and, like, think of nothing or think of everything that you're grateful for. And this is the perfect time to start because we're in November. November is all about, you know, being grateful and, you know, just feeling the gratitude, right? And from that, and those thoughts will stem even more positive thoughts and clean thoughts so that you can literally live a whole lot cleaner in terms of, you know, not having to even overthink that much because you're so much in the flow, you know? Like, what I'm talking about flow, I have to say I'm super grateful for, like, how things are flowing out today, because yesterday was like it was like stop, go, you know? It was like a screeching halt, like, every couple of words. And now today I'm just kind of like, ooh, free flowing, you know? But also, it's Freedom Fridays, you know what I'm saying? It's childlike Fridays, like I am seeing the word free. So, yeah, so you're just like more freer to talk and to speak things out. And, yeah, I definitely also am getting that, like, there was a hole that you kind of, like, here's what I'm seeing. There was a hole that you kind of got through yesterday. So if we're talking holes or like a portal, I don't know what I'm really even trying to say. But, oh, that's interesting. Maybe the hole was the number 10, the 1 and the 0, right? Because yesterday was 10, today's 11. So you got through that hole. But the way that it's coming across is like you got yourself through this hole, by which is kind of like you, like, let's say, you know, when you see like an octopus, right? And you're like, bro, that octopus is pretty fucking, that's a pretty fucking big octopus with a pretty fucking big head, right? But yet, all of a sudden, and we're talking about the mind, by the way, which octopus has a very big fucking head, right? But the octopus, and I always see it's like, to me, it's like the alien of the seas, honestly. But, like, it's really interesting because the way that, like, an octopus can go through a hole that's, like, as big as its fucking, you know, tip of its tentacle is fucking crazy to me, right? So, like, my whole thing is, I think it's you went through some sort of dream hole, portal hole, you know, numerological hole. I don't know what it is, but there was a tiny hole. Maybe you didn't even think that you were going to get through it. And somehow you're on the other side of it. Maybe even a rebirth of sorts, right? Because I think that number 10 also symbolizes birth, I think, like divine birth. So, you know, so you could have been reborn yesterday, and now today you're feeling a whole bunch of like just, you know, ease with the whole ebb and flow of life. Like if like, I feel like there's less fear, put it that way. There's definitely less fear around whatever you were fearing, and you were kind of like giving it all up to the God, you know? And I think that's what was kind of released. So, you know, good for you. Congratulations. You should be really proud of yourself. So yeah, guys, so basically, okay. So I think I'm done with the reading. I don't think that there's anything else that wanted to come through. So thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate it. And like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. In just a few minutes, this video will be on YouTube, and that's for you guys to, you know, view it at any time. Or view it, when I say view, I really mean listen, because it's a podcast, right? So thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.